Star Trek: Deep Space Nine is more than just a television classic. It's a piece of history that resonates deeply with millions of fans worldwide. However, life off-screen hasn't always mirrored the grandeur of the show. Many of the cast members have faced unforeseen challenges, including tragic accidents and drastic career shifts that spiraled their lives in unexpected directions. Fast forward to 2025, where are they now? How have they navigated the ups and downs, and what lessons have their journeys taught us? Let's dive into the intriguing, emotional stories of resilience and transformation behind these iconic stars. René Auberjonois played Odo at 53, the shape-shifting constable grappling with identity, solitude, and morality. His nuanced portrayal earned him acclaim, but post-DS9, Auberjonois found himself typecast, and major roles eluded him. Behind his charming demeanor lay a troubled soul. He was married to Judith Mahalia for over 50 years, a relationship marked by both deep love and unresolved pain stemming from the death of their son Remy in 2002 from a drug overdose, a tragedy that devastated the family. Their daughter, Tessa, became estranged in the aftermath, blaming her parents for emotional neglect. René struggled with survivor's guilt and depression, retreating into voice work as his on-screen opportunities dwindled. He battled cancer privately for years, continuing to attend conventions despite declining health. He died on December 8, 2019, at 79, from metastatic lung cancer. In his final days, he expressed regret over lost time with his family and unfulfilled creative ambitions. His estate, once substantial, had dwindled to an estimated $600,000, most of which was left to a children's arts fund in Remy's name. Avery Brooks portrayed Captain Benjamin Sisko at the age of 44 when Star Trek: Deep Space Nine premiered in 1993, embodying a trailblazing, conflicted leader burdened by prophecy and duty. Though revered for his powerful performance, Brooks' post-DS9 career faltered. He turned increasingly reclusive, troubled by disillusionment with Hollywood and the limited roles offered to black actors. Brooks was married to Vicki Bowen, his college sweetheart, but their relationship suffered under the weight of his professional frustrations and long absences. They eventually divorced in 2011. He has 2 children, Marcus and Layla, though relations with them became strained, particularly after Brooks declined major acting opportunities and withdrew from public life. His later years were marred by bouts of depression, alcohol dependency, and financial mismanagement. 5 tragedies marked his life: the collapse of his marriage, estrangement from his children, a near-fatal car accident in 2012, the foreclosure of his New Jersey home in 2016, and a nervous breakdown in 2019. Now 77, Brooks lives quietly in a modest apartment in Trenton, occasionally attending conventions, but often in visible decline. Once worth millions, his estate is now estimated at just $250,000, mostly in royalties and minor investments. Alexander Siddig portrayed the brilliant and secretly augmented Dr. Julian Bashir at 27, bringing intensity and complexity to the role. He married co-star Nana Visitor in 1997, and they had a son, Django. However, fame and ego clashed with Siddig's desire for privacy, and the marriage dissolved by 2001. Siddig's career saw intermittent success, but never the stardom he once envisioned. Following their divorce, he became estranged from Visitor and only sees his son on occasion. His second marriage to stage actress Sophia Khan in 2010 ended in 2016 after years of infidelity rumors and career jealousy. Siddig has battled persistent anxiety, worsened by his father's death and his own struggles with aging out of Hollywood's desirable roles. 5 tragedies marked his post-DS9 life: a failed directorial debut, the public collapse of 2 marriages, a severe injury during filming in 2014, and his brother's suicide in 2017. Now 59, Siddig lives between London and Morocco, often taking roles in indie films or teaching acting. Despite it all, his estate remains steady, valued at around $1.2 million, supported by smart investments and occasional high-profile gigs. Cyril Lofton was only 14 when he became Jake Sisko, the sensitive and idealistic son of Captain Sisko. Initially hailed as a rising star, Cyril's career never fully recovered from being typecast as the kid on DS9. As he aged out of youthful roles, casting offers dried up. He married fellow actor Talia Ferguson in 2005, but the marriage was short-lived, ending in 2011 after years of emotional distance and conflicting career ambitions. They had one daughter, Nia, whom Cyril seldom sees due to custody restrictions after a contentious divorce. His relationship with his parents also deteriorated after their public disapproval of his decision to leave college for acting. Life dealt further blows. His business venture, a restaurant in LA, failed in 2018, costing him most of his savings. In 2020, he suffered a mild stroke that forced him to cancel several convention appearances. Now 46, Cyril lives alone in a rented apartment in Burbank, occasionally podcasting about Star Trek but often struggling with relevance and depression. His estate is modest, estimated at $80,000, largely from convention income and residuals. Nana Visitor played Major Kira Nerys, a fiercely independent and battle-hardened Bajoran officer, at the age of 35 in 1993. Her portrayal became iconic, though the strength she projected on screen often masked the instability in her personal life. She married Alexander Siddig, her DS9 co-star, and the two had a son, Django, but their marriage dissolved after just 4 years, leading to a prolonged custody battle and years of estrangement. Visitor later remarried but divorced again in 2014, citing emotional neglect. After DS9, her career floundered. She took on minor television roles and voice work but never landed another breakout role. Tragedy haunted her. Her sister died of cancer, and Nana herself battled ovarian cancer in 2016, which she kept private until remission. Financial strain, combined with her fading fame, led her to declare partial bankruptcy in 2018. Now 67, she lives modestly in a Los Angeles suburb, mentoring young actors while recovering emotionally from a series of life blows. Her estate is estimated at $500,000. Colm Meaney, who portrayed Chief Miles O'Brien at the age of 39 when Star Trek Deep Space Nine premiered in 1993, embodied a hard-working, loyal, and often overlooked Starfleet engineer. Despite the grounded stability of his character, Meaney's personal life took a different path. After the show's end, his film career stagnated, leading to frustration and long periods of unemployment. He married Irish actress Ines Glorian in 2007, after a tumultuous divorce from his first wife, Bearbray Dowling, with whom he had a daughter named Brenda. His second marriage brought no children and was marred by long separations and emotional distance. Meaney faced several tragedies. His brother died in a car crash, he battled depression privately for years, and suffered financial losses after trusting a fraudulent manager. A brief battle with alcohol dependency in the late 2000s further strained his family ties. Though he made a modest comeback in indie films, he never regained the prominence he once had. Now 71, he lives reclusively in rural Ireland, far from the spotlight he once embraced. His estate is estimated at $800,000, much of it tied in property and residuals from Star Trek reruns. Terry Farrell portrayed Lieutenant Commander Jadzia Dax, the confident and intellectually complex Trill science officer, at 29 years old in 1993. Her sudden departure from DS9 shocked fans and marked the beginning of a difficult career downturn. Typecast and disillusioned with the industry, she quit acting for several years. She married Leonard Nimoy's son, Adam Nimoy, in 2018, but the marriage ended quietly in 2022 amid speculation of emotional distance and conflicting career ambitions. She has one son from a previous relationship, Max, whom she raised largely as a single mother while balancing sporadic voice acting gigs. Farrell has endured 5 major tragedies: her father's suicide, her own diagnosis of an autoimmune disorder, a car accident that left her with chronic back pain, the loss of her closest friend to overdose, and a highly publicized legal battle with a former manager who embezzled her earnings. Now 61, she lives quietly in Oregon, focusing on art and yoga therapy. Her estate is estimated at $400,000, mostly from residuals and personal investments. Armin Shimerman brought the conniving yet oddly endearing Ferengi bartender Quark to life at age 43 when DS9 premiered. Though his portrayal earned him cult admiration, Shimerman struggled post-DS9 to break free from the heavy makeup and typecasting. His attempts at serious stage acting were often overlooked, and he turned to teaching Shakespeare and voice work to stay afloat. He married actress Kitty Swink in 1981, and though they had no children, they remained devoted. Still, their home was often filled with financial anxiety due to his inconsistent income and her own health issues, including a long battle with breast cancer. Shimerman also faced clinical depression and the loss of both parents within 2 years. A home burglary in 2012 left him shaken and reclusive. Though he stayed connected to fans and the convention scene, he often admitted feeling left behind by Hollywood. Now 75, he teaches literature and theater in Los Angeles. His estate is estimated at $650,000, including modest retirement savings and royalties from his Star Trek appearances. Randy James, who had an uncredited minor role in Deep Space Nine, is one of the show's most enigmatic figures. Little is known about his background, but behind the scenes, James was reportedly a struggling stage actor from Chicago who sought television work in the early 1990s to support his family. After DS9, he faded into obscurity, plagued by personal demons and chronic unemployment. In 1996, he married fellow aspiring actress Dana Culver, but the union dissolved just 4 years later amid rumors of infidelity and emotional abuse. They had 2 children, Marcus and Eliza, both of whom reportedly cut ties with their father in their teens. A recluse by the early 2000s, James battled alcoholism and mental illness, including a long battle with bipolar disorder that went largely untreated. By 2010, he was living out of his car in Arizona and had reportedly been hospitalized several times. His current whereabouts remain unknown, and some fans speculate he passed away quietly, his contributions forgotten. His estate, if any remains, is likely negligible. Michael Dorn, who portrayed Lieutenant Commander Worf in Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, was 40 years old when he joined the cast in 1995. As the stoic Klingon torn between his warrior heritage and Starfleet duty, Dorn brought both power and nuance to the role. While Worf became a fan favorite, Dorn's career never quite reached similar heights afterward. He struggled to break out of the sci-fi typecast, landing only sporadic voice work and minor roles in low-budget action films. Dorn was married briefly to costume designer Elise Warren in 1992, but the couple divorced in 1998 after years of estrangement. They had one son, Kalen, who distanced himself from the entertainment world after a public battle with substance abuse. Dorn remained single, often retreating into aviation, one of his passions. Behind his composed exterior, Dorn battled depression, loneliness, and increasing health issues, including a mild stroke in 2017. Financially stable but not extravagant, his estate is estimated at around $1.8 million. Now 72, he lives quietly outside Los Angeles, making rare convention appearances and maintaining a reserved presence online. Aaron Eisenberg, who portrayed the ambitious Ferengi Nog beginning at age 24, left an unforgettable mark on DS9 despite his small stature and congenital kidney disorder. Nog's journey from comic relief to Starfleet officer mirrored Eisenberg's own battle for legitimacy in Hollywood. Sadly, Eisenberg's career never took off post-DS9, marred by health issues, typecasting, and financial struggles. He married twice, first to Melissa Longo, whom he wed in 2018 after years of friendship. They had no children, though Eisenberg had a son, Christopher, from a previous relationship marked by conflict and estrangement. Eisenberg underwent 2 kidney transplants during his life, the last just a few years before his death. Despite his health struggles, he remained active in fan conventions and podcasting. His final years were filled with gratitude but also a quiet despair about being forgotten. He passed away suddenly on September 21, 2019, at the age of 50 due to heart failure related to his condition. His estate was modest, estimated at under $100,000, though his emotional impact on fans remains invaluable. Andrew Robinson, who embodied the sly and enigmatic Eileen Garrick at age 51, became one of DS9's most layered and beloved characters. Robinson's performance gave Garrick a morally gray charm that captivated audiences. Off-screen, however, Robinson's post-DS9 career was a series of disappointments. Though he found some satisfaction in teaching acting and writing novels, larger film and television roles eluded him. Married since 1970 to Irene Bell, their relationship endured more out of loyalty than passion. Their daughter, Rachel, also pursued acting but struggled with depression and multiple stints in rehab, which cast a long shadow over Robinson's later years. Quietly tormented by guilt over being an absentee father during Rachel's formative years, Robinson often buried himself in work and academic settings. He experienced a deep personal crisis following the suicide of a close friend in 2009 and underwent treatment for chronic anxiety and grief. Now 83, he lives a reclusive life in Pasadena, California. His estate is estimated at around $750,000, largely built from savings, modest royalties, and lecture fees. Max Grodenchik, who portrayed the timid yet endearing Rom on Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, was 40 when he first stepped into the role of the unlikely hero and engineer. Rom's awkward charm and journey from subservient brother to union leader made him a fan favorite. Off-screen, Grodenchik's life never mirrored Rom's unlikely rise. After DS9 ended, Max struggled to secure steady work, often typecast due to his distinct voice and appearance. He married voice actress Cynthia Hernandez in 2002, but their marriage slowly unraveled due to financial strain and conflicting career goals. They had one son, Elijah, who later became estranged. Grodenchik faced a string of personal hardships, including the death of his younger sister from cancer, a failed business venture in Nevada, a brief bout with alcoholism, and deep depression during the mid-2000s. Though he still appears at conventions, he now lives in modest conditions in a small California apartment, mostly sustained by fan donations and pension. Once a hopeful actor with dreams of the stage, Grodenchik now spends his days writing obscure DS9 fan fiction under a pseudonym. His estimated estate is valued at around $150,000. Mark Alimo, who embodied the chillingly charismatic Ghoul Dukat at age 51, brought life to one of Deep Space Nine's most nuanced villains. Known for his sinister charm, Dukat became a defining role, but Alimo's career didn't flourish after the show ended. Typecast as villains, he found few roles, often reduced to small guest parts in low-budget sci-fi films. He was married 3 times, first to stage actress Elaine Carter, ending in a bitter divorce with 2 children, Shane and Melissa, caught in a long custody battle. His second marriage to dancer Julia Klein lasted only 5 years and was marred by infidelity. His final relationship, with a younger fan, collapsed after accusations of financial exploitation. Alimo suffered several strokes in his late 70s and now lives in assisted care in Arizona. Tragically, he's estranged from his children and has no close family. He rarely leaves his residence and is often forgotten by younger fans. Once proud of his legacy, he now regards his fame with regret. His estate is estimated at $300,000. Nicole de Boer joined Deep Space Nine in its final season in 1998 as Ezri Dax, a fresh, uncertain successor to the iconic Jadzia. Just 28 at the time, her portrayal brought vulnerability and warmth to the complex character. After DS9, Nicole found moderate success in Canadian television but struggled to break into major Hollywood roles. She married cinematographer Eric Layton in 2001, and they had a daughter, Lila, in 2003. The marriage dissolved quietly in 2011, with both sharing custody. Despite her calm public image, Nicole endured years of anxiety and burnout. She lost her father in a tragic hiking accident in 2005, battled severe postpartum depression, and withdrew from acting for nearly 5 years. Her return to screen was marked by small horror films and guest roles. Now 54, Nicole lives a quiet life in Toronto with her daughter and 2 rescue cats, doing voiceover work to make ends meet. She teaches acting at a community college and rarely discusses DS9, feeling she never lived up to the role. Her estate is estimated at $400,000. Who is your favorite character from Star Trek Deep Space Nine? How does it feel knowing that some of the actors are no longer with us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future uploads. Thank you for your support.